I am Dr. Shubhadev Chakraborty, consultant surgical oncologist at Apollo Multispeciality Hospital, Kolkata. 4th of February is celebrated as World Cancer Day. This day has been adopted by all the countries to raise awareness for cancer and cancer related issues. Uh, what we are the present theme for World Cancer Day is close the care gap. Basically, we try to identify the gamut of cancer and the cancer affected individuals and try to bridge the gap between the sufferer as well as the caregiver. Now, this is an ongoing part that has been going on since 2022, 2023 and 2024. So in 2022, what we had done was to identify the problem. Basically, to identify, take the cancer registries and identify which cancers are predominant in which countries. Like in India, we have tried to identify the cancer which are most common. For example, head and neck cancer, breast cancer, colonic cancer, cervical cancer, uterine cancer. So that's we have tried to identify. 2026, this year, it will be the year where we try to unite the voices and take action. It is as through the awareness we will be raising, care will be given to all the patients, all the cancer sufferer. But what we require is an awareness among the generalized population. For example, in your locality, if there is a cancer patient, we ask you to be aware of the fact. Because at times, because the patient might be taking chemotherapy, at times at the odd time of the night, she might develop vomiting, or she might require to be taken to the hospital. So in that case, at times vehicles are not ambulance might not be available. We just ask for you to accompany the patient to the hospital, or at times the family members might be you just accompany while they are taking the therapy. So these small acts of kindness can help us to close the care gap. Because one thing is this in cancer patients, because of the thought of being ostracized by the society, a lot of people tend to drop out from therapy. So we, as our neighbors, as localites, have a main important part to uh, to infuse enthusiasm in the patient so that it completes the therapy. The next year, 2024, will be the time when we will be taking up the issues and challenging the powers to be. For example, we take up all the data and ask our governments, our health departments on what action has to be taken or what action that can be taken. And if it has been taken or if it has not been taken, why it has not been taken. This is the part how we in Continuum will be trying to close the care gap. While we're trying to close the care gap, another thing that is very important that we should be are the awareness of cancers. There are simple signs and symptoms that can be an harbinger of cancer that you can identify. So if you identify in yourself, immediately get it evaluated by a family doctor. Not it's not necessary to visit a cancer specialist immediately. Go and get it evaluated by a family doctor. If required, then visit the oncologist. On the occasion of World Cancer Day, we should be all aware of this simple signs, the 7 signs that could be a telltale of sign of a cancer. See, we have to remember one thing that early diagnosis leads to early cure. So as early as we diagnose, the treatment will be that less, and the post treatment morbidity will be less, and we will be having a long disease-free survival. So the main letters that the word that we need to know is caution, where each alphabet stands for a sign and symptom of cancer. For example, a change in a bowel or bladder habit can be in the form of you might be having constipation, or there may be a sudden alteration of bowel habits, diarrhea, or blood in stools, or this signs can be a sign of either a colonic cancer or a rectal cancer. Similarly, increased micturition or a high color urine can be a sign of a bladder cancer or a kidney cancer. Similarly, a sore that doesn't heal. For example, we have ulcers in the mouth, in the oral cavity, or on the skin that is not healing even after treatment for more than 15 days. It could be a harbinger or a sign of oral cancer, a tongue cancer, or a skin cancer. Then, unusual bleed from any natural orifice, maybe a bleed from per vagina, maybe irregular menstruation, or there will be higher flow during menstruation, or postcoital bleed. This all could be a sign of a cervical or an endometrial cancer. Similarly, abnormal bleed from the rectum can be a sign of a colonic cancer or a rectal cancer. So you need to be aware and get yourself evaluated. Then you have is thickening of the breast or lump in breast or thickening of the testicles. In the female population, the most common presentation of a breast cancer is a painless breast lump, which might distorted, might not get distorted. So immediately, if you feel something, immediately get it yourself evaluated. Similarly, for the male population, a sudden increase in the testicular size or swelling in the testicle could be a sign of testicular carcinoma. get yourself evaluated. Then you have I. I is for indigestion. Indigestion can be a sign of a stomach cancer or a gastroesophageal cancer. O stands for obvious change in a wart or a mole. So we all of our body we generally have more molar warts. If you see there is change in shape or it has become painful or it bleeds to touch, it could be an early sign of skin cancer. So immediately get yourself evaluated. And last but not the least, N. N stands for nagging cough or change in voice. So hoarseness of voice. So in this case, what we see that a long time a cough is not getting delivery even after medication, or there is a sudden change in voice. This could be early signs of a lung cancer, or it could be a sign of a carcinoma of the larynx, that is a voice box. So immediately, whenever you feel these eyes are one of the seven symptoms, immediately get yourself evaluated. If not by an oncologist, by a family physician, and if required, it will be then evaluated in totality. So this World Cancer Day, I pray to God that every word you have, the God's choices blessing and the pink of health.